Today we are going to talk about AI that is going to help in user experience. And why I'm going to take this talk is kind of AI is participating everywhere, not only doing code, basically involving in real time to connect with the software stacks and making it fully leveraged user interface along with the user experience. So today talk is more of leveraging AI agent for adaptive real-time user experience. The goal is continuous discovery and dynamic interface for next generation digital product. What does that mean? We see like we are having like an interface that is more static to the customer or partner's requirement, but as they need some additional feature or requirement into the product, they have to request for new development. By this session, I'm going to explore and strategy behind it that user can use, that a developer or a platform builder can use to leverage the AI so that AI can play a role to create an intuitive user interface and user experience in real time. And so what is being shift here? As I talked earlier, static to dynamic. The traditional static UX model is no longer sufficient. As we know, user need more interaction with that, like want to more personalized experience as they want. What data they want to see in real time, they can configure according to their need. So more traditional static user UX model is no longer sufficient for modern user expectation. User need more, so that's why we need an agent that can fulfill user need in the real time. Second thing is that AI transformation. AI agent enable a transition from reactive to proactive interface adjustment. And what real time optimization means is real time optimization ensure responsive to the individual user behavior and system performance. So AI is shifting toward static to dynamic and leveraging AI transformation and real-time optimization to the user experience. So what is the real-time optimization means? AI agent continuous monitor interactive data to identify friction point as they happen. It means that AI agent keep learning user behavior throughout the product journey. This include like a continuous discovery, moving beyond periodic research to the real-time behavioral analysis. Along with that, dynamic adjustment. So, automatic adjustment to the layout, navigation, and content hierarchy based on the current user intent. Just for example, let's suppose you have a dashboard and user has a preference for seeing certain information in the first place, and other is kind of lower priority. How user can interact with to do that? The AI can play a role what kind of data user need through the prompt. At the same time, user can configure a UI layout so that it can be drag and droppable element onto the dashboard, and user can arrange according to their need. So data plus arrangement both is going to happen in same time. That is what the continuous discovery and dynamic adjustment do together. So on the fly user difference, there are certain strategy I'm going to talk about how it can be done. The strategy one is can be like a context, well, relevance. AI determine which component, button, card, or menus are most relevant to the current user journey, and updating them without full page reload. Strategy 2 could be like a personalized at the scale, tailoring visual, language, and accessibility feature in real time to match individual user preferences and environmental constraint. So user need to have a context. That is the first strategy. Second, like letting user give a powerful interface so that it can be personalized at the scale. And third one is kind of latency minimization. Intelligence client side rendering combine the predictive assets loading, ensuring that dynamic update feel instantaneous to the end user. I mean, if there is something changed, it is automatically getting changed without realizing that AI is playing a role into it. So these are the three strategy that kind of follow up to creating more real-time user interface or user experience to the user. And adaptive API, likewise, I'm not sure how the title is, but adaptive API, how we could, how AI could help us to build. So first of all, API orchestrator agent predict data need and prefetch result to the user latency. At the same time, reduce the latency to the user. Real time tuning adjust resource and query path dynamically to the match traffic. And system efficiency balancing compute overhead with the user experience to sustain peak performance. These are all things that could be developed statically from the developers. But AI taking place, when I say AI means that AI isn't taking place, these are responsibility so that API orchestrator and real time tuning at the same time system efficiency could be handled dynamically in real time. Now I'm going to talk about intelligence, predictive analysis for proactive user experience, anticipating user intent, leveraging the historical and real time data to anticipate the user next move before it happened. Second thing is that like a prevent adjustment, modifying the UI dynamically to remove bottlenecks before they before the user encounters them. And third thing is that pattern recognition, identifying emerging trend to automatically adapt the interface to enhance user flow. So intelligence need three things: anticipating the user intent. I mean, whole in whole, like user is connecting to the product, what they want to do, or where what they are expecting from the product, and according to that, it adjusts dynamically. And then, as user go through their journey into the product, it kind of recognize user behavior. AI prediction accuracy with high stack specialized model can achieve up to 99% or higher. The better specialized model we could have, the better accuracy we can get for achieving these three elements. And that is called the user experience intelligence into the product. Practical development. So there are three strategy how we can practically deploy this AI enabled product. Phase one, strategy one is kind of phased rollout and testing, integrating AI agent into the production system using feature flag and rigorous A/B testing to the validate user impact before fully scale. Second thing is that such stability guardrail. Implementing strict operational boundaries to ensure AI driven change never disrupt core functionality or violate brand guidelines. System observability, continuous monitoring of agent driven optimization against the key performance indicator to ensure technical and UX health. Overcome coming implementation challenges. So actually here we am going to take a look on what is kind of challenges that particular individual or developer can face in. So strategy use lightweight edge computing and clear fallback mechanism. See, AI is kind of again a machine mechanism or machine system that connect with the product, right? So the smaller unit it could be a better performance we can get at the side of edge, and also clear fallback mechanism if there is anything failover or something like that. We could have like a standby AI system to support that. Apart from that, like a data privacy and ethics, ensuring real-time monitoring comply with the global regulation while maintaining user trust through transparent data handling. Latency overhead, like managing the computational cost of the AI agent at the edge of avoiding slow down the application and degrading the user experience. And third one is visual consistency, balancing dynamic AI driven changes with the cohesive brand identity and established user mental model to prevent confusion. And future trend one is kind of hyper personalized interface that are unique to every single user, generate in real time based on cognitive load and intent. Trend second is multimodal interaction. AI agent coordinating voice, touch, or gesture for a unified, frictionless experience across devices. Third one is kind of self-handling interface system that automatically detect and fix UI bugs or performance regressions without human interaction. So hyper personalization, multimodal interaction, and self-healing interface. Either one kind of could be or all together could be leveraged with the AI enabled product. It is kind of now and onward lot of low code and no code is happening. A lot of low code and no code product is into the market, like they are leveraging AI so that user do not need to code. They just interact with the product and configure the interface according to their need. That is what I'm talking about. AI kind of developer become the AI agent, then it's create a lot of personalization and preferences to the user, so that that can be done into the real time. That is what the trend I'm seeing. Agent will do the development job. Yes, of course, it is under the human intervention. And conclusion, as I'm seeing how AI is going to help in software development or product development, is AI agent are the bridge between static software and truly adaptive digital experience. What does that mean? That mean is that whatever product is enabling at the first place, user can configure and manage according to their need, or user can add additional feature as they want, like a multiple dashboarding, the way they are seeing data they can change according to their preferences, maybe pie chart or bar chart, right? And real time optimization improve both user satisfaction and technical performance. So as I said, the tweaking user can do and play with the platform or product and arrange it according to their need. It can be kind of creating a lot of satisfaction to the user. Though AI in picture doing all the job behind the scene, but user getting more advantage of it without requesting uh, any change to the developer side of it, or maybe product side of it. It can be tweaking from themselves. Success required holistic approach, combining front-end, back-end API, and proactive analytics. So it is not about only like day-to-day software uses that the user do uh, throughout their product user journey. Basically, it is kind of holistic approach to combine all three together and getting full visibility on what they are doing. And it's enabled through the dynamic API, and user can see like a proactive analytics on overall experience. Start small, prioritize stability, and focus on measurable user outcomes. So I don't say like enable agent into the product and start building from now. Let's create a prototype and build one simulative product, and then start enabling that that as you go your AI enablement journey. With that, I'm just finishing with my slide. So thank you so much for joining me. And Rory, I have one demo. If you have time, I can share that.
Okay, perfect. Yep. I thought you were getting ready for questions, so I'll jump out again.
Yeah. So let me share my screen, and I'm going to share one. Yes, so this is a product I built with the help of AI, and what it does, it's create a real time interface to the user. User can arrange their dashboard accordingly. Right now, I have a couple of elements onto the dashboard, but here I'm going to run one more query, top products, right? Top 10 products by sale. Here I am going to add a preferences onto the product. Let's suppose I'm going to see the data in pie chart. So once I run, this is all happening in real time with the help of AI. So if you see, I just hided all the query that run behind the scene, and you cannot see this unless it is exposed to the user. But user can configure their requirement in real product. So this is the chart that you can see, top 10 products by sale, right? And then now I want to enable this particular chart onto the dashboard. So let me add this onto the dashboard. It says like successfully added onto the dashboard. And let me open dashboard. And when I see onto the dashboard, I see one chart, one chart here, 10 product by sale. And then not only adding this chart onto the dashboard, I am arranging my dashboard according to my need. And this is all being done by AI behind the scene. You cannot imagine how much how much AI playing role on each and every actions to arrange, to create and arrange these element onto the interface. So you see, like building a dashboard in real time by enabling AI in real picture is the key innovator along with the user journey with the product. Now I'm going to run this, what is happening really behind the scene. So this is kind of real time dashboard generation you were able to see into the screen. But how it is happening, let me explain you. So that same query I am enabling behind the scene. The these are the AI models, but I'm using OpenAI models, and the same query I'm running. So when I'm running the same query, what I'm seeing is that it is created a query based on the user natural language. So you type this particular query into the natural language, and then conversion into the SQL query, and then running this query, I'm getting data. So laptop and their values, smartphone and their values, and what is happening, like this is a chart I'm seeing, or maybe pie chart. So all these manual work that users supposed to do while building the particular product, what I did is kind of developing a product that we do not supposed to request user to develop. User just come here and write a query depend on what they want, and at the same time, whatever data, let's suppose area chart you want for the particular query, it go query data and add the add data into the chart. And you just by adding this particular chart into the dashboard, you can get that data into the dashboard as it is. So you know what I'm trying to say, AI is playing lot of role creating a product in real time and adjusting them according to the user preferences. That is what model does. At the end of my slide, I explain the at the end of my slide, I explain the same thing. As you know, here on my slide, Can you on my slide? I said start small, prioritize stability, and focus on measurable about outcomes. This is what we have to do when we are enabling AI along with a product or services, and make sure they are measurable and they are behaving the way user has an intent to use the product. With this, I'm done with my presentation. If anybody has any query, like you are very welcome to ask.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Indu. And sorry for jumping in a bit earlier.
It's okay, not a problem.
um, yeah, I have a question. We also have a question from the audience, but I'll just start with one about, because you mentioned as you were going through that presentation, you were talking about all of the kind of continuous discovery, that kind of insight building, all of those features, and you were mentioning different features. Do you have examples of those? Because the demo was fantastic, looking at, I guess, the development side, and that's very popular now with Claude Code and those kind of Gen AI
Mhm.
development writing tools and converting natural language into SQL. But do you have any examples of tools that you're using to do that more upfront research and understanding of the customer?
That tool, exactly. I'm learning more of like couple of tools that is in market, like a Microsoft Power Developer. That is a tool. There is couple of like tools like Out System and like a no code low code uh, framework. That I'm gaining more attention out of those tools because they are in real time, and user have a preference to develop their feature in, I mean, without code. So here, when I am interacting with the VS Code along with these models, like you see, you request something and it's create a code for you. What demo I shows now, whatever you typed, it's go direct query to the DB and return data. And the real time that chart is getting generated, it is again a code. But what I'm doing is I'm getting those code, and in real time I am kind of embedding that code into the product itself. So so what it is enabling is kind of creating a real time adjustment that user wants to do with that. But specifically, like AI is kind of totally new and everybody is experimenting with that.
Yeah.
But by 2030, I think at that time, like more than 95% application will be AI enabled, and whatever user or API user experience or API we are building, probably that could be done with the AI itself, without kind of developer need.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll see.
but, but,
There's a lot of
but
prominences
when
about.
I'm saying without the developer need, it means that platform that could build to support that, developer itself could build along with the AI. So
Excellent.
developer or humans should be always in the loop to building infrastructure that enable this kind of feature.
Great. We have a question from the audience from Haley, and she's asking, how are you setting up the AI agent to continuously monitor? Because you were mentioning there that continuous. So the demo, I guess, was more interactive, whereas in your presentation, you were talking about that kind of background monitoring and optimizing and things like
So did you saw that when I type the query, it is going backend and creating a chart and also writing query, both together. So that is where I am working as a co-pilot along with the AI and learning how AI returning data. Once I am fully satisfied with the return, then I'm going to expose that particular chart onto the dashboard that can be visible into the real product. But but creating interface that enable us to do monitor AI results set along with the intent that user express through the natural language kind of take place. So that is what I'm trying to say. Like, no, we cannot directly enable AI into the product. We always kind of having some observer to what kind of feature going into the product by enabling first place user who is interact with the AI agent and create UI or create API or create a chart or create a PDF or whatever, but that could be review from the user who is creating or enabling feature into the interface. That is what I'm trying to say.
Right. And do you have any examples? Maybe it's something you're working on in Cisco or something that you've seen in the market where they're kind of at the bleeding edge of this, that there's really good use cases or examples being delivered into production more than just those kind of prototypes that a lot of the AI companies are showing off.
Yeah, so many like even Cisco security also enabling product like a generative UI. If someone using that can see like creating interface in real time, monitoring, observing the system, and there are a lot of tool like that.
Okay, so we'll see a lot more of these hitting the market soon.
Yeah, very soon. There is a lot of things going to happen.
And I guess the last question is just around the security of this. So I was just looking at like SQL injection, and you have all of these prompt injection things to try get around security that people have tried to put into their systems. Is there a way that you see people being able to handle that if we're talking about that real time kind of personalization?
That is a good question. So while while we are doing all these activity, we could have like at the small scale AI agent that monitor also what kind of data getting injected into the platform, and also as a notification user received on any activity doing into the platform, and according to that notification user make decision is particular things has to go or not. So what I'm saying is that agent is taking place a role of actor, and then user will be taking role of observer. Whatever AI is doing, that could be observed from the human, and then without permission it could not go into the product. So like you know giving some work to the intern, and intern does that, but at the end of the day someone has to monitor those work, review that work, and once agree, then then it can be going to the main release or main branch to the prod. That is what I'm.
And Haley's just asked, how do you set up that kind of security guard type monitor one? Is that just like you put it into the API call that it has to pass through this security guard before it gets through, or what's the way of wiring up that
That
monitor?
is that is monitoring can be done with the MCP servers. Now we are talking about we are kind of context model that can taking place connecting with the LLM to the user data that is sitting under the MCP servers to handle those kind of
Okay,
scenarios. Yeah.
it's on that integration server between the LLM and your data.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. In between connector to this, that should be that place. I mean to say like that's why MCP server is like fragmenting the model to the data or context that user has, and those transaction is totally separate, and at the time of when they have to get together, then get together, not exposing everything to the LLM models. There is a talk like NVIDIA CEO also said in respect of developing a SLM, small language model, that could do some specific work. So without deploying those model into the public cloud, you can create your own small model that is more specific to the product and running inside your production environment without accessing outside the world. That is also aligned and going to come pretty soon, I guess. I mean MCP we are already developing, so those kind of stuff also we can see in future and more smart way.
It's really exciting everything that's coming now. It's always something new every week. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah, that's right.
Excellent. Well, that brings us to time. So I just want to thank you for sharing. That was a really interesting talk about where things are going with real time and AI. So thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Okay. Thank you, Rory, and thank you so much everyone, and nice to talk here.
Excellent. So that brings us to an end for today. But if you enjoyed the session, please do consider joining us at one of our main conferences that we hold in May.